Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I just learned some pretty good uh, wedding makeup tips and tricks. So I'm gonna share them with you. And let's get started. One of them's using damp beauty sponges and stuff. So now my beauty sponges are damp. Alright, so there's nothing really for brows because they didn't do their brows on camera. And this will also help me figure out what I'm actually using and not using. Because I cannot figure it out because they're all so good. So, they didn't do their brows on camera, so I'm just doing my brows the way I normally would. So I'm using the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe to outline my brows. This brow pencil isn't super waxy to where it's hard to work with. We're just gonna warm it up first. Like, I feel like I should delete or remove something from what I originally wanted to use. I'm like, they're all so good. I like them all. So, they're all so good. I like them all. Products, so I don't know. I'm gonna take this fully side really quickly. I guess one's gonna be higher than the other. Oh well. It's fine. So, now we're taking that Milani brow pomade, which is actually really warm now. I guess it is just like a top layer thing. And soft brown. And filling up my brows. So, literally, quite literally, this tutorial thing is not the way I usually do my makeup. But I thought it would be cool to try this. I know that wedding makeup's usually you just a little bit elevated, but I thought this would be cool to do. And I still have my skincare on, so that's why you didn't see me do skincare in this one. I still have it on. Alright. So this is all good. So I think I'm not going to delete anything or remove anything. Sorry, I keep saying delete. I'm not going to remove any of these products. These products are nice. I love them so much. They're so nice. I'm trying to get it like a little bit higher than I have it. My brows are not even right now, and I'm sorry for that. This just added more texture to my brows than it needs to. But it's still nice because you never know. I might not have as textured of brows as I do now. So I'm leaving everything out so I can. So next trick is use your foundation on the top part of your eye towards the crease, and then concealer or eyeshadow primer on the bottom part. So I'm using the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, which is not a satin foundation, thank you. It feels more matte than anything. And I have the shade Fair Warm. Oh my god, it's so easy to squeeze already. Okay. And I'm taking my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and we're going to buff it in to the eyes. So buffing would be like this, essentially. So this is what we're gonna do. Buff this into our eye. And I got a lot, and I'll definitely like in the description box below. That is a lot easy. That is so easy to squeeze. I don't think they put the right amount in. I don't think after one use or a couple uses it's this that easy to squeeze. I think someone's gonna look. No, I think it's a cat. Trying to play tricks on me. And there you go. Okay. I don't know how well I like that. The fact that it's so easy to squeeze after only a couple uses. Like, look. I mean, I guess it's not completely almost gone, but. And then we're going to use the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm, the same shade as the foundation, on the rest of our eye. And buff that in. And then so I'll go through afterwards. I'll go through on my own what tricks I liked, what tips I liked, and what ones I didn't. And we're going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge to kind of blend this because I'm still doing what I normally do. But it's just a little more shared out because of the fact that these are damp sponges. So it's going to be a little more shared out. And then normal. So, but it definitely is worth it. I love this. My foundation's only $8, so it's not too expensive. I mean, it's a little more. It's like a couple dollars more than the foundation they had. They're like OG original. Foundation they had, the Flawless Satin Foundation. And then again, 1 inch the concealer. Oh, the sponge, sorry. So it's a little more sheared out, a little better. Okay. So we're good on a good start. We're on to a good start. Anyways. So, now we're going to set it. So, I am using my Real Techniques setting brush and the Maybelline powder. I'm going to set this puppy. I'm going to set this puppy. So this is to help longevity with makeup. And just longevity and just the fact that it's more natural. Know what I mean? Like, I just love these traits. So it's a lot more natural. It's a lot more softer than what I was going for. And I definitely got to really clean my face tonight. So I'm starting to get pimples and stuff. So I gotta really clean my face tonight. Okay. So another tip or trick is do your eyeshadow first. Okay. So now we're going into eyeshadow. So really quickly, we're going to go into the palette. We're going to go into that Snatch shade that we used before. And I used the angled crease brush from Maple Tools to apply that. And I definitely am going to go through every once in a while. And clean my under eyes. Alright, so now we're going to go into this fluffy crease brush, which I am going to clean the best I can. And the second, or the third tip or trick is to go into the bronzer that you're using. So for me, it's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. We're going to really load that brush up. And we are going to use this as a transition. So, they kind of go like this and then, or no, they don't. You're going to have to watch it. I think they go like this and then like that, but I could be wrong. So the way I'm going to do it is the way I think they did it. Yeah, they did. Back and forth. Which, this is like a light bronzer because that's the shade name, light bronzer. So it's a very light, almost skin tone like bronzer. And I don't know why my voice just broke like that. But this is a very light, almost skin like bronzer. Like skin tone like. So it's very soft. And it's very soft to where you can use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer for a transition shade. And I gotta use another blending brush, like crease brush. Unless I can use the blending, I don't know. But like I said, this is like a very soft and natural bronzer. So it works as a transition shade. So this works as a transition shade. So this works. So taking that same crease brush, we're gonna go into our little eyeshadow palette here. And we are going to look for a nude pink, which looks like Bridesmaid, the shade we used earlier, wins. So we're going to use this crease brush here. And that's the thing, another tip. When looking for eyeshadow or any sort of pink, you want to look for a neutral pink, you want to look for a nude pink, because it's going to wear so much better, it's going to look so much better. So, I don't know if they did it like that, or if they just kind of like that. Which, this is definitely my nude pink, but this one works. Because me, oh my god. To me, this is more a neutral pink than any other pink in that palette. So this is the closest we're getting to a neutral pink as we can. So I do have to get another brush for the under. So this one's done. I'm trying to find. So now we're gonna take our e.l.f. blending brush. We're gonna find a like not really dark brown, but a dark brown. Looks like Uproar. Just this shade right here. This is the shade we're going for today. And this we're gonna do like a invert. So we're gonna go like this. Oh my god, that just kind of messed up. Oh my god. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna redo the eyeshadow primer thing. This is why this should work with me. And it needs to. Because I get tired of having to redo things when it don't work with me. So, that's all. I get tired when things don't work with me. So I guess we're gonna skip that V. So I'm pretty much going to go back into that bronzer shade because I had to fix it. So I guess we're gonna skip that V. Still kind of there, but definitely less noticeable. So we're definitely gonna skip that V thing they did. So now, of course, they don't use primer. So now I'm gonna take this flat top brush here. And I'm gonna find a shimmer, like a shimmery shade thing, close to what they use. And looks like the shade that wins is Masquerade, which is up here. So you want to focus it more in the center of the lid. And we're gonna clean up any fallout. And then we're gonna do eyeliner and mascara. Which they do it completely different than what I'm doing. But it's fine. Try to focus it more on the center. And then kind of bring it like towards the inner corner. The teardrop too. Well, I gotta do something. I'm doing it a little bit different than what they showed on the bottom lash line thing, which you'll see once I find a and then you're gonna take that Masquerade shade again. we're gonna go like towards the outer part of the tear duct. It just gives a bigger eye effect. But it is a shimmery shade, so I'm gonna have to really like clean up my face really quickly. And when you watch the video, if you do, you'll see what I mean by how I'm doing it different. With my makeup's just really gonna have to. Alright. So alright, so now we're gonna use this accent shadow brush that I used for my concealer. And we're gonna go back into the bronzer. Are kind of pretty much gonna smudge it right here. Because I'm doing all my eyeshadow now. And then we can get to eyeliner. You'll see the way they do it compared to the way I do it. So we're pretty much just looking it out underneath. Too bad. And I'm leaving the inner, that tear duct pretty much open for eyeliner. I'm not doing anything else but eyeliner over there. So. Alright. So now we're going to use the same brush. We're going to go into that pink shade, that Bridesmaid shade. I'm going to smudge a little bit of that. Just a little bit. Underneath. Alright. So, underneath this brush now. So any extra brushes that we use, we're gonna kind of need. Now the cool thing about already doing the underneath part is I'm pretty much just gonna round out with the eyeshadow. So I'm pretty much doing a wedding slash the way I did Tiffany thing. But it's the way it works. So now we're gonna do eyeliner really quick. So the Maybelline Lasting Drama eyeliner, which I already fell in love with. By the way, it applies applied so smoothly. Of course, there was not glitter and everything on my eye either. But it applied so smoothly, my foot itches. Damn it. My fish are chasing each other. And all that good stuff. So, I've already fallen in love with it. This has definitely changed my mind about gel eyeliner. I will continue to use gel eyeliner. That's pretty much what I'm saying right now. And maybe as long as it's this formula, I'll continue to use it. I don't know the specifics about gel eyeliner yet, except for the fact that I will keep using it until the day I die. I'd say. So like I said, that definitely did change my mind about gel eyeliner. Alright. So, now we're going into the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara, waterproof mascara. So, I have pretty small eyes, as it is. I'm like scared of poking my eye or something. That's the reason I'm like so now to be able to do the bottom lashes, we're gonna use a little brush, like this angled brush from the Maybelline. And we're just going to go around the inside of the cap thing. And we're going to get it as close as to the root as possible. And with this, we have more control over the where the mascara goes with using the brush technique. Then using my giant wand. Oh, it looks horrible. Ow! What the hell? Oh, it looks so horrible. Alright, so I bet my cousin can do better than this. Or I know she can do better than this. But it just looks so horrible. Ew! Ew! I'm trying to take makeup wipe and kind of wipe off the excess. Alright, that's a bad idea. So, do not do that. That is a bad idea. Don't know how they do it, but it's horrible. Should not even work. Alright, anyways. Back to primer. So we're going into the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. If you remember, we gotta use primer before color corrector. And she didn't, the people I got it from didn't use primer. Because, you know, she never uses primer. Hint, hint. And if we didn't get that hint, hint, it's Nikki LaRose, the one that I got this idea. These tips from. Because she, if you guys already know, don't already know, she's a professional makeup artist. So she does wedding makeup and all that. So it's pretty cool. And I love her channel. So this is a nice product. These are all nice. Like, it sucks that, like, I set a goal of, like, not using one, but I can't not use one. I gotta use all of them. Okay. So primer is done. Alright. So color correctors now. I'm gonna of course do the green one first, and I'm just going to go through and put them on. So I'm just gonna put the green one on my face and then blend it. And then the yellow one on my face and blend that, and then the peach one on my face and blend that. So, like I said, using a damp beauty sponge, which honestly helped sheer things out for one. For two, it's a lot thinner. Using a damp beauty sponge, using you're essentially using the same amount, but it seems like you're using less because it's so thin, because you're literally picking up the product so much better. And more product too. So my makeup's gonna look more flawless than it did before, if that makes sense. So now we're going into the yellow color corrector. And this one, we just essentially go right here. right here. Line on the forehead. And yeah, that's it. So then damp beauty sponge again. So that was much more easier blending it that way. So now peach. Like it's gonna cover it up a little bit, but not much. And we're using the e.l.f. camo. It did cover it up a little bit, not a lot, so it's fine. Anyways, itchy legs again. Dang it! I'm like itchy all over now. I need this one. Another tip is don't start your bronzer or contour too low. So I'm actually going to go into my cream contour and I'm going to show you where to put it. Okay, so I have the shade Fairlight, so I'm going to put it right up here on both sides. So essentially it goes into my hair line, which I'm going to have to get a shower tonight. We're using the e.l.f. contouring brush and we're wanting to blend. So we're going to blend it upwards like that. And then we're going to blend it upwards this way too. It looks so much more natural and it's actually into the hairline. So it just looks, like I said, looks so much more natural. Alright. And then on the bottom, right here, you don't want to start at this hollow. So you start right about here. And then like that. So right about here. And like that. You want to run it out too. And then again, just blending it up. So you're going to blend it up. Because essentially doing it this way, you're blending all you're lifting all your features, not dropping all your features. So this way, looks like you're not dropping your features, but you're lifting them. Again. So blend up, not down. Alright. So now. Alright. So now I'm going into foundation, which is the Soft Glam. And I'm using a Stumpling brush again, but I'm going to do it with the finger first. And you want to start at the center of your face and blend it down. So this is, you can blend down. So you go like that. Start towards your nose, essentially, and blend downwards. So I'll show you. I'm going to take my Stumpling brush, and you're going to essentially blend that, or not down, but you're going to blend it outwards. And it's not going to really cover up any of your contour, because the contour is going to show through. Let's see. And doing it with your fingers, laying the foundation where you want it with your fingers first. This is just my tip. Now, I'm doing it this way. It's just going to allow you to pretty much get an even application each time. And I am gonna add more. Actually, maybe not. Oh my god. I'm really upset about this foundation. Really upset. And it might be me too. So essentially now I'm just going to put it where I stopped at and finish blending. This is a really good foundation though. Makes me sad that, you know, somehow I'm not using it right. And it's just, I'm not using it right somehow. It's the best way I can put it. And I will be using a beauty sponge. I know they don't, but I will be using a beauty sponge to blend all that in my hairline and everything. Okay. So, there you have it. Foundation done. Said I will be using a damp beauty sponge to blend this. I'm using the bottom to blend this into my hairline real quickly. And I did not even do my neck. It's fine. It's for a tutorial. And I've only used this foundation twice, and look how easy it is to squeeze it. Like, come on. Like, look. Show you better this way. Come on. No. That's not allowed. And again, there could be a lot more product in there than I realized too. Anyways, now we're gonna do concealer a little bit differently. So I'll put my concealer on the back of my hand. And I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush. And I'm going to blend it out. And then we're going to essentially put it where we need it. And we're going to blend it down. Down the side of the nose here. Like that. I look like a freaking ghost. And then I'm gonna use a clean one, actually. I'm not gonna put it in here because eventually I will be cleaning these brushes before the wedding. I feel like everything turns white when you use that one. So let's try this again. And then more of a lifted look. Like that. And then same thing over here. And then right here. And then down the side of her nose. And then out for more of a lifted look. So actually, no. Yes. I will be using both of these for the wedding. One for the hydrating and one for the 16 and the foundation. And I'll mark them. Or no, actually no, I won't. It's just alright. Oh, my foot. Alright, so now we're gonna get a little bit more off the back of your hand. Go like that. Our natural way to highlight. And then just a little bit down the bridge of our nose. Which we're gonna use a different brush for. That one has to go there. I'm not using all of this. I'm gonna use a small concealer brush, which we will be using for this part. And a little bit more of that concealer. And we're going to take it and we're going to put a little bit down the bridge of their nose. And kind of underneath the nose. Right here. Pretty much lifting it. Alright. There. Got it. Alright. I don't know if they put it any other place. I know that I'm not. And now we're going to use a damn beauty wedge. And we're going to press it down like this. Especially because it's easy to get underneath that nose like that. So definitely a lot better. Alright. So this is a lot better and I like this way. So this is the way we're going. I'm going to use this one for the color corrector though. Alright. So here is where we're going to get into the cream blush. And I have to do something real quick. This is where we're going to get into the fun part. My foot itches. Okay, so hold on. Gotta go back, go back, go back. Alright, so they do use it on the middle of the forehead too. So, right here. So we gotta do that and down in between the brows. Like that. And I'm pressing most of the stuff just because it helps blend it into the skin better. So I need that wedge, wedge, wedge. This is so much makeup. Ouch! Okay, so sorry, I gotta set this concealer too. So I'm gonna use some of the Maybelline powder. So using the bottom of this wedge, I'm going to set. And the reason I'm looking up is so I don't set in any folds into my eyes. Folds or creases. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So good thing I decided to go through. So, my nose, as you know by now, my nose always starts itching at this point. So then we're gonna take the flat side right here, and we're going to set wherever we put that concealer. So right here. Right here, and right here. So essentially, that just means I can't use cream highlighter. Set it right there too. Right there. I do it that way because my nose and everything. Okay. This is so much. So now, a cool little trick that I did not know is taking your cream blush, whatever blush you have, and using a stippling brush and kind of stippling it on. Makes it a lot more long lasting, makes it pretty natural too. So I'm taking the Camo Elf Camo Liquid Blush in Dusty Rose. Looks like it had shimmer in it. And we're going to just warm it up on the back of my hand, even though it's already warm. And we're going to use the the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to stipple that into my skin. Okay. So, I'm going to hold it like this. And we're going to start stippling. And also kind of bring it on like right here. And we're going to go pretty high with it because if not, it will bring all your features down. And we want features up. So, like this. And it looks so natural. And my nose is going to bug me. It looks so natural. It's foolproof. And it's the best. So I'm kind of now holding it like this and stippling it that way. Well, except for when I put it on across the sides of my temple. My nose really itches. But this is so pretty. I like it this way. And then we're going to take more of that blush. So I'm just using what's on the back of my hand. And we're going to kind of stipple it across the forehead too, kind of connecting what's on the temple. And then taking more, just kind of going across the nose a little bit. Like so. And look how more natural that looks. Look how more beautiful that looks. It's perfect. So I wish I would have learned this sooner. Now I know how to do this. Now I have way more uses for a lot of my brushes. So. Alright. So now essentially I just can't use cream highlighter, but I know that I'm using it on the wedding day, so you know what? I'm gonna do something. Yes, I can. It's just a lot lighter. Essentially what I did was. And then we're going up there, lightly down the bridge of the nose, and kind of like underneath. And I'm kind of taking it off the lip too, a little bit. And I'm going to use this damp beauty sponge. Kind of just press it in so it looks more natural. And oh my gosh, this looks so much more better. Jeez. Alright. So now we're gonna powder the face. Powder, powder, powder the face, powder the face, powder the face, powder, powder, powder the face. Do 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 do. Alright. Sorry, I'm weird. Should know this by now. Anyways, we're gonna take the Real Techniques powder puff. Or no. No, we're not. I'm not gonna use powder puff. Powder puff is here. We're gonna use a damp beauty sponge. And we're gonna use the bottom of it. And we're essentially going to just dimple it onto the face. And if I need to get anywhere like small, I'll use the wedge. I shouldn't need to though. So the brush, that setting brush, is essentially just for the eyes. Everything else, but when we set the face, it's gonna be a sponge. Okay. But doesn't mean that I'm not going to go in and take off any excess that I have either, because I will. That's what I'm doing now. So we're going like this, just to make sure everything's nice and set. So now we've contoured the skin. Now we got to bronze the skin. So we're actually going to use a powder brush and going into the bronzer. And essentially what the powder brush is going to do is going to help us be able to press it into the skin. Going up like that. And then pressing it into the contour we put on the hairline. Contour's not even showing that well. Pressing it up here. So I want a little less of a bright blush for powder. For powder blush. So I'm still using this brush. We're going to go into this palette. We're going into Daydreaming instead. Oops. So we're going to go into this Daydreaming. And we're going to go light-handedly. Pretty much, here's how we're going to do it. We're still going to stamp it. Press it into the skin, whatever you want to call it. Stamping it, pressing it. Essentially, how we're going to do it. So anywhere we have blush. And there we have it. To that. Now. Okay. So I know that they press it in So we're going to go into exceptional again, which is that golden one. And we're going to go off the tip. And watch what we do. So much more better. So I like pressing stuff into the skin now. For sure. Everything into the skin. Because it's just so much more natural. And I do my highlighting a little bit different. But the light or the flash is still gonna hit it, right? But I'm still gonna put it up. Here. And then ever so slightly on the bridge of the nose. Okay. Alright. So now we got lips and setting spray, and that's it. The e.l.f. stay on the e.l.f. glossy lip stain. And Power Mauve. And the Stay All Night. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like this look. This look looks so much more natural. I love these tips. Tips and tricks and all of that. So I will see you next time. Bye.